Hi guys, this is Sri. So today I'm going to start the new topic. That's the replication troubleshooting. Okay. So this is the part one video, and in this video I'm going to show how to fix the duplicate entry error and how to fix the could not find record. So these are the both, but these both errors mostly we are facing in daily basis, right? So. I'm just going to show you how to fix those errors and how, what is SQL slaves counter and how what is the things you need to know before skipping the errors using the SQL slaves counter. Okay, so these are the three topics we are going to see in this video, and going forward I am planning to explain I am planning to list some other videos as well as a part of the replication troubleshooting, like how the checksum is working and different errors, different replication errors, and what are the different options you have to skip the error, like PT slave strat and slave exit mode. We have different slave skip errors. Okay, so these are the things we have. So going forward, I will explain those things in the coming videos. In this video, we are going to see how to fix the duplicate entry error and how to fix the could not find record that error. And we are also going to see about the SQL slaves counter variable. Okay, so let's go to the demo session. I already have one source and one replica. Okay, this is my source. And this is my replica. Okay, I already configured the replication. I already released the video for what is replication and how to configure the replication. Okay, I already released a video, so if you want to check, you can check it from the channel. Okay, so I already configured the replication. So this is my source. Currently, there is no databases. We did not create manually any databases. We have only the default things. Okay, so the first topic is this one, duplicate entry. Okay, let me create one table. Hmm. Creating tree. Okay, so I am creating table 3 with two columns. Okay, one is the ID column and the next one is name column. Okay, now I am going to insert some records here. Insert into free name values. Um, yeah, I just inserted two records. Okay, if you see this table, street table, yeah. So these are the two records I have in the street table. Let me check in the replica as well. So this is my replica node here. Also, select start from street. Yeah, so those two records are replicated in the replica node as well. Okay, now the first thing is duplicate entry, right? As I told you, the duplicate entry, right? So let me create the error. Actually, I am just trying to insert directly on the replica node to create the error. Insert into three values 3 comma c. Okay, so in the slave, in the replica node, currently I have three records, 1, 2, 3. I manually did this insert on the replica. Okay, but if I see the source, that master, if I check the master, we have only two records. But in the replica node, I have three records, one ID 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. Okay, but in the source, I have ID 1, 2, and the name A, B. Okay, now you can check in the replica status, it is running fine. Okay, yes, yes, yes. Okay, here you can see it is yes, yes. Now I'm going to insert the same, going to execute the same query in the source. Okay, it is inserted. Now my source have 3 records, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. And I am checking the replica. In the replica, we already inserted that record, right? We already insert manually, we inserted that record. We already have 1, 2, 3. Now I am going to check the replication status. It is failure. Okay, you can see the IO thread is running, but I have the SQL thread is not running. Okay, so my error says, this is my error. It says could not execute write rows events on the table help.sri. It is due to the duplicate entry. Okay, because the replica node is already have the data, that ID equal to 3. The replica node already have the data. So when we executed that insert statement on the source, the insert is trying to execute it on the replica again through the binlog events SQL thread. It identified, oh, the ID 3 is already available in the replica node. So it is not able to process the data from master. Okay, that is what we had, this replication error, duplicate entry. The 3 is already there for primary. This is the error code, and this is the binlog position. Okay, you can check the duplicate entry 3 means this is the primary ID. Primary ID means that is 3, where ID equal to 3. I'm just checking. Okay, ID equal to 3. The data is already there in the replica. And I am just verifying the data with the source. Okay, ID equal to 3 and the name is CCC. The data is already there. Here also, replica also, we already have the data. So we can just skip this. Okay, because I verified this is the error I have. So I am just going to skip this. But you better we can check the binlog as well, because if you are you need to make sure this is the single statement. I mean, you have only one transaction with this data. I mean, with this SQL. Because if you have multiple SQL statements in the same statement, in the same transaction, then if you skip that event, then you will be again have the data inconsistency. Okay, I will explain that. Don't want to make that complicate right now. But this is a simple error we know. But just I am checking the binlog here. This is the master binlog. Let me check it. Where lib MySQL. I'm just checking the viewing the binlog. Regarding binlog also, how to view the binlogs and binlog structure, I already posted one video in the channel. You can check it there. Base 64 output equal to decode rows. I'm adding 2 verbose, and this is my binlog. I'm just giving less. Okay. Now I am checking this. This is the binlog 20, and this is the position in log position. This position we have the error. So I'm just checking the statement. What is the statement there? Okay, so I have this. Here is the nlog position, and this I am just checking. This is the insert. Okay, I have this insert, and here you know that at the rate 1 means that is a first column, and at the rate 2 means that is a second column. The first column is ID equal to 3, and the second column is name equal to CC. Okay, you also need to make sure this insert statement is a single transaction. I mean, here is the begin and here is the commit. Okay, between the begin and commit, you have only one this insert. Okay, so in this case, you can skip the error. But if you have other statements as well, like for example, if you have update, delete, insert, multiple SQL statements inside the same transaction, you should not skip it. Okay, because if you skip it, you might run into the data inconsistency. I will show that how it happens. Okay, now we are okay. We are okay now. I analyze the binlog as well, and okay, this is a single in this in this transaction we have only this insert statement, so we are good to skip this now. So skip to skip the, you have different ways to skip. Going forward, I will explain the different things how to skip the errors. But for now, the simple way I am going to using this counter. Okay. So stop replica set global SQL slave skip counter equal to 1 start replica. Okay. I just skip only one event. Okay. SQL slave skip counter equal to 1. I'm just skipping one event. And now I am checking the slave status. It is running now. Okay, IO is running and the SQL also running. And if I verify the data, yeah, select star from 3, I have 3 records here, and in the source also I have 3 records. Okay, so this is the way of handling with the duplicate entry. You need to make sure, you need to verify you have the same data in your source and replica. In this case, if you have the same data, then you need to verify the bin log. The statement is that SQL is the only in this, in the transaction you have only that SQL, or you have other SQLs as well. Okay, you need to make sure that thing. If you confirm that okay, this is the SQL and the transaction have only this SQL, means in this case you already verified the data as well, you can skip the error. Okay, so this is the way you can handle the duplicate entry. The next one is could not find record. Okay, let's create the another error for this. Okay, let's do one thing. Here now, this is replica. Here I am going to do delete from Sri where ID equal to 3. Okay, I am deleting this data on the replica. Okay, this is for the example only. I'm showing the example here. Now at the replica node, I have 2 records, ID 1 and 2. Okay, but if I check on the source, I have 3 records, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I am going to update update 3 set name equal to xxx where ID equal to 3. Okay, I'm just going to execute one single update statement on the street table, and I'm going to change name equal to xxx, here name equal to xxx, and where ID equal to 3. Okay, I just executed this. I am checking the data in the source, the master. Okay, the update is happening. So now I have 1, 2, 3 and ABX, but in replica we already deleted this. Let's come to the replica. So this is the replica. If I check the replica, I have the data 1 and 2 and AB, because we already deleted the ID equal to 3. We already deleted in the replica. Now let's check the replication status. See, here you see the SQL thread is again not running. Okay, this is the error statement. You can check the error statement. Could not execute update post event on table help.tree, cannot find record in in Sri, and this is the error code 1032, and this is the binlog file, and this is the binlog position. Okay, so as I explained already, I already deleted the ID equal to 3 on the replica node, and I made the update. I executed the update statement on the source for where ID equal to 3. But we already deleted this record in the replica node. So whenever this update happens, the replica is trying to execute that update statement in the replica node, but we already deleted that record in the replica, so it is not able to find that record. Cannot find the record. Okay, so this is what we are doing practically. So we came to know, okay, so we already did it. So this is we had this error. But in your production scenario, you need to check the bin log events. Okay, you need to verify the bin log. So this is the bin log. I'm checking again on the master. Okay, same bin log only. I'm giving less, and this is the position in log position is this one, 2897. Okay, 2897. Okay, I just come here. So this is also the same statement, begin and committed. Within the transaction, we have only one statement. Okay, so this is the update. Okay, this is the update, and here the @1 is the first column, that is ID, and @2 is the second column, that is the name. Okay, so where ID equal to 3 and this, I mean, where this was the set ID equal to 3 and ID equal to 3, and the name column is changed to XXX from CCC. Okay, now I came to know, okay, this update was executed, but this is the statement is creating the problem in my replica. So I came to know this is the primary ID equal to 3. Okay, ID equal to 3 is not existing. I came to know ID equal to 3 is not existing in my replica node. Here I have only ID equal to 1 and 2. So the replication is failed because the ID equal to 3, the record is not exist in the replica node. So I need to fix this. Okay. So how to fix this replication error? There are few methods you can skip, and you can do the checksum, and you can manually insert the data in your replication slave, and you can skip the error, and you can also you can handle in the different ways of skips. Okay, now what I am going to do. Okay, so this I came to know. I analyzed the bin log. Okay, so this data is not exist on the replica, so I got the error. So what I am going to do, I also make sure that is the only one SQL available in the transaction. Okay, use here. See, in this case, if you just skip this error, your replication will fix. Okay, if you just skip this error, your replication will be fixed. But you need to make sure you will have the data inconsistency, because you are missing the ID equal to 3 on your replica node. Okay, you can fix this. You can easily fix the replication by skipping the error, but you will end up with the data inconsistency. That might be the problem, right? So you need to do the proper fix when you are having the replication error. So now what I am going to do, okay, this is the value I have, ID equal to 3. This is not exist on the slave. So what I am going to do is, I'm just going to manually insert the data in the slave. Insert into, so before updating the slave, I'm disabling the bin log. Insert into 3 values 3 comma xxx xxx. Okay, now I executed. I have this value now in the 3 I mean the ID equal to 3 and xxx. I'm checking the slave status. It is still I have error because I'm just giving the stop slave and start slave. Okay, now if you see, my error is fixed, and I am doing the verification, post verification. My data is consistent now. Oh, the ID equal to 3, and I have ID 3 and xxx. Here also I have the ID 3 and xxx. Okay, so in production, I mean in your production environment, you might have multiple errors. Like here we know this is the only statement we can fix this in this way. Okay, but comparing your production scenario, you might have lot of errors like continuous errors, duplicate entry, or could not find error. In that case, you need to analyze many bin logs events, and you need to manually apply them everything, right? So that will be little bit trouble. So you need to make decision how to fix that. Well, if your slave is needed for your application that time, then you need to think about skipping the errors, and you need to do the checksum. Okay, you need to go with the checksum, skip the errors, and just resume the replication, and you need to go with the checksum. Okay, so that you need to make sure that your data is consistent. Okay, there are few things you need to make the decision based on your scenario. What is your scenario? You need to bring the slave up or so up or not in the. I mean, suddenly you need the slave for your work, application work. So based on your situation, you need to make the decisions. Okay. So going forward, release the videos how to do the checksum. I will also do with the suspension. I will run the suspension and how to do that in your real life scenario. Okay. So this is the way you can handle with the put not find record. Okay. The thing is, you need to identify with what are the records are missing in your replica. Then you need to analyze the bin logs, and you need to get the data, and you need to try to make them available on the replica, and you can resume the replication. Mostly that will fix your things. But I would recommend to do the checksum as well after you fixing the replication. I would recommend to do the checksum as well to just make sure, okay, your data is consistent. Okay. And now I just wanted to show you the skip slave. I mean, the SQL slave skip counter. Okay. Mostly I see many people are just doing the SQL slave skip counter. Whenever the replication error happens, they are doing SQL slave skip counter equal to 1, and they're just skipping the error. Okay. But here I want to show one thing where when you can skip the error. I mean, what are the things you need to make sure before using this command? I want to share a live scenario with that. See, now my slave and master have 3 rows: 1, 2, 3, A, B, X, X, X. And in the source also I have 1, 2, 3, A, B, X, X, X. Okay, I have the same data in my source and the replica. Now let me perform the delete on the replica. I'm performing the same delete, ID equal to 3. Okay. Yeah, fine. So now my replica have only 1 and 2, and my source have 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to create one transaction. Begin. Okay, I'm creating one transaction, and now I'm going to update three. Let's ignore that once again. Yeah. I'm just committing that. Yeah. Now let's start this. So I have 3 same records in the master and slave. I have 1, 2, 3 and A, B, X. Okay. Now what I'm going to do in the replica node, I'm going to do one insert into 3 values 4 Z. Okay. So now my replica node, my replica have 4 records. Okay. My replica have 4 records. In the master, I have only 3 records. Okay. Now I am going to create one transaction begin. I'm executing the same insert into values ID equal to 4 and Z. And I am also performing another insert 5 Y. Okay, so what I am coming to say, in my slave I have 4 records 1 2 3 4, but in my master I have only 3 records 1 2 3. After that I am creating one transaction with the begin in the master, and inside the transaction I executed two statements, two inserts. One is insert into three values 4 Z, and the next insert into three values 5 Y. Okay, now I am going to commit this. Yeah, now I just committed this transaction. Now in my master I have 1 2 3 4 5. In my replica node I have 1 2 3 4. I am checking the replication status. See, could not execute write row events. I have the error. First thing that I have the error. My SQL thread is not running, and this is the error. Could not execute write events on the table. F.3 duplicate entry 4. Okay, for primary, and this is my binlog file and binlog version. Okay, so if you are just seeing this, you are just checking in the slave. You are going to directly checking the slave. Okay, duplicate entry for 4, primary ID 4. You are just checking the data in the slave. You already have this 4, right? You are just checking the slave status. Okay, you have the error for ID 4, and you are checking the table in the replica node, and you came to know, okay, ID equal to 4 is already exists. Okay, already exists, so that you are getting the duplicate entry error because your ID equal to 4 is already exists. So what you will do, I mean not you, but what commonly doing, uh, stop slave set global SQL slave skip counter equal to 1 start slave. Okay, so I done this. So now I am checking the table. I have the same data 1 2 3 4. I am checking the slave status. It is fixed. Okay, you identified that you have the duplicate entry error with the ID equal to 4, and you verified that replica already have the ID equal to 4, and so you decided to skip the error, and you skipped the error. After skipping the error, your replication is fine now. Yes, but here you have only 4 records, but at your master you have only 4 records, but at your master you have 5 records. Okay, you are now missing 1 row. Okay, you know what is the thought means, that 4 ID equal to 4 is already exists, so I just skip the error. Okay, but here inside the transaction we have 2 SQL statements. One is ID 4 and another one is ID 5. So this is what I was told. Before skipping the error, you need to verify your binlog, and you need to make sure that the SQL is only one statement. I mean, the transaction have only one this SQL, or you have multiple SQLs in the transaction, because when you skip using this counter, it will skip the entire transaction. Okay, so if you have multiple SQL statements in the transaction, you will lose everything. Okay, your data should be inconsistent. I'm just checking once. I will show 1 second. So this is the position. Okay, see, you can see here my transaction is beginning. Okay, after the begin statement, here is my first insert, that is ID equal to 4 and name equal to Z. Okay, my transaction is not committed here. Okay, I have another insert statement which has ID equal to 5 and name equal to Y. Then only I have the commit. Okay, so in this, so this is the complete transaction. From the entire transaction, inside the transaction, I got 2 insert statements. Okay, so if what I done, I just skip the event. So when I skip the event, it will skip the entire transaction. So when it skip the entire transaction, both the insert statements are skipped. ID equal to 4 and ID equal to 5, both the SQL statements are skipped. So we already had this ID equal to 4. The ID equal to 5 data also skipped here. So I lost the one record here. Okay. So this is what I came to. I was thought to say about this counter, SQL slave skip counter. So you should be very careful when you are doing this SQL slave skip counter. You should verify the bin logs, and you need to make sure that you have the only one. I mean, only that SQL statement inside the transaction. If you have the other SQL statements in the inside the transaction, then you need to think how to fix that. Okay. So yeah, this is what I thought to share in this video. So going forward, I will release further videos in this topic, and hopefully you have some idea by watching this video. If you have, if you like this video, just share with your friends. And for more MySQL related videos, just subscribe my channel. Okay, bye. Thank you.